we're around the back of the Rover, and this always looks good running down the road. We've got signals and lights here, top and bottom. Remember, most Caravans don't have a reversing light. That reversing light would distract other people, so it really is just signals and lights and a brake light. Now in my clearance or tail lights, I'll also have a number plate light, which is in here for our number plate. Here's an important message for any of our Ford Rangers out there. Ford Ranger always being a good vehicle, but in their LED light system, they will interfere with a Bluetooth reversing camera. So if we have said, yes, here's your Rover, yes, go with a Bluetooth reversing camera, great screen that we attach inside the car, really easy to use. Ford Ranger, warning, that's us. That CAN bus system needs a filter, and we want to be prepared. We'll put that into the Rover so it can work on your new Rover and your Ford Ranger. Important message from SEQ Campers and Stockman products. Open up the back. This is our back section here, so really like the look of it. Big whale tail latches, so these guys here can be opened as a key lock, so if it doesn't turn, I tend to only lock 1 out of 4, but then I'm gonna open and turn. So open and turn, and I'm now ready to pull this up. So again, love the gas struts on this, makes me feel super space age. And I'm under here, got some shelter. I can push that up just a touch. Right away, this would be me with a little mat, 2 chairs, and I've got shade, and I'm at the back of my kitchen here. So we've got right here, fire extinguisher easy, but this is probably something in the new O2 that I like, is that I just wanted to get a couple of drinks, and I can open my fridge, get a couple of drinks, and get myself out of here on the road again. That's my sink, a little bit lower profile. I'm gonna pull this guy out. Great big suctions to hold it in. Again, a suction out there. I've got my diesel hot water. So I like diesel on here, but again, I've got to be prepared for diesel. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to heat up. And if I'm having a long shower, it's just a really good idea. Have your shower, turn the water off, soap up, and then run with your hot water, rinse off. By taking a little break in between, it means that you're not using as much water, but you're also keeping that water quite hot. We've popped this open, hot and cold mixer here. So what is the difference between my Rover Ultra 02 versus that Intrepid or my base model? Well, the big one here is that it'll only be a cold tap, and I'll be picking up hot water from the gas hot water system separately. Now we've got our little guy here. Let's put that in, pop that down, and that's my little sink drainer inside there, part of my sink right out there undercover. What's the other difference between my Ultra and my Intrepid base model? Well, in my Ultra, I get these 2 walls here, and they actually flare out as a nice corner. So I put this wall on down. I can actually sneak through to my shower undercover, but I can also wash dishes undercover. 1 wall, or zip it together, 2nd wall, and I've got a great little sheltered area here undercover. So we pulled out the sink. Favorite feature here, big one, is dimming lights. How do I turn my lights on? I've got 2 dials here. I'm gonna then click 1, click 2, and I really like that they're dimming. I can turn that right down so I can still see, but not attracting a lot of Mother Nature in here. I can also throw out my big 180 awning and lights out there if I do wanna keep some of the bugs away from the kitchen here. I definitely can put it out on my awning. But 9 times out of 10, I'm camping, and except for dawn and dusk, I've got these lights on and set the mood with my campfire. The lights are on. We start from the left to the right, and in here I've got my little wine rack. Now it will take some little whiskey bottles and some other things there, but it is a great little way to keep it safe. Hate to have glass breaking in the cooler. There is access for some other storage, but that is my fridge vent, vented above the fridge, and getting this Bushman 130-liter fridge with lots of room there, and that's my 130-liter. We've got my little 12-liter freezer up there, so I can generally get 5 meals frozen in there, like a pair of steaks or a pair of fish, some other peas and other items in my freezer there, and then 130 liters easy access. Working my way across, I've got here, just to show you in the handover, give it a tug, give it a pull, lock it back in. The Swift cookers now come in black, and they've got a little bag. There's a grill that sits in there. I can put pots inside. Comes with my little bun warmer. So cooking, boiling pots in there, but also comes with a grill for my veggies, steaks, chops, things like that. Got my click starter here, gas bottle right into my gas holder. And at SEQ Campers, we have a gas bottle full, ready to go, diesel, water. So right from picking up here on the Sunshine Coast, you can head out camping, go and do a shakedown, go and try it out, go free camping with lots of power, lots of water. So that's my little pull out here. I like this pocket for my lights, other goodies in there, but here's the heart of the operation, and this is my Redarc system. So the Rogue system's been out for a bit. It's got a great reminder, a simple sticker, but what we want to do with an inverter is always turn it off. These lights are maybe using 1 or 2, 3 or 4 amps between the lights. My fridge is using 3 to 4 amps per hour, and I've got 300 amps of battery to spend. So here we go per hour, but my inverter will actually use 1 amp per minute. So if I'm using these power points for an induction cooktop, or if I'm using the 240 power to run that aircon, it's 1 amp per minute that I'll be using it there. So in theory, I can run a few hundred minutes on the aircon inside, or a few hundred minutes of cooking. My solar is generally going to put back 3 to 4 amps from the roof all the time hanging out in the sun, but my portable solar should be putting back 10 to 12 amps through my portable 200 watts. So possibly between the two panels, 8, 10, 12 amps per hour of 6 hours of sunshine. That's kind of giving me my 60 amps to spend that I'm getting free from the sun. The DC-DC charging on this Redarc is also coming in at up to 30 amps per hour, so that's charging from the vehicle. We talk about using 100 amps running heating, water, fans, lights. Just budget yourself for your little bit of spending of 100 amps per evening, and you're gaining 60 plus back during the day. That is a little bit of math and some simple problem solving here on my Rogue or Redarc system. So I do like this. It's showing me here at 97%. Now I don't know if you guys can see that super well, but what I really want to show is that I've got a left and a right, and on mine I really have 3 buttons down here. Now let's try it without the lights on. Is that any better? And I will go there with a bit of lighting. Now what we have here is 3 dots along the bottom, so I'm going to change from left and right. I've got my settings there on the left side, my home page in the middle with all my switches, and then I have my right side. Now when I press right, I get to see what's coming in. Plug in mains power, I get to see solar. I'm going to press down, 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 down here, and it's actually going to show me, I'm going to press my battery button, it's actually going to show me where that power is coming from. Coming from my vehicle, a little bit of sun coming in, and coming from my 240 mains charger. So that was me. Let's go back again. Let's go back to my main screen, Redarc Education. We go to our main screen, we can see what's happening, battery's looking good. To check what's charging, please check. We can then press to the right. We can see what's coming in or going out. Right now, 1.1 amps going out from these 2 lights, from this single light. We then press the battery and we see where it's charging from. That's just a refresher. We watch this video again to know how to use the system. We're then going to sneak back here to our main screen. We talked about the charging. Our main screen is all about turning on, turning off. Number 1, inverter, turning on, turning off. Right now, we are going to turn that on. This has turned on, it has a 240 watt system. This has turned on my power points, anything to do with 240 power. And my battery is now jumped from 1.1 amps per hour going out. I'm now using 3 amps per hour going out just by having the plug on. This is our big indicator, a simple sticker, turn off inverter when not in use, and you could save up to 2 amps per hour when you're bush camping away from it all in the Rover. So let's go there, back to our little guy. That's my 240 power on. USB on is actually going to be my USBs here that can plug into my awning lights. We've got fan on. My fridge is going to work really well, but it's going to work even better on hot days, sealed up with my fridge fan on for driving in dusty conditions or driving when it's really hot out, have the fan on. Arrive at camp, I'm going to now turn that fan off, not required. Fridge is just there, great isolator. There is a temperature on-off in the fridge, but this guy here is my fridge. On-off, I can see, click it on, set. TV, I've got 12 volt power inside. I can option for a TV. It's giving 12 volt power to behind or in front of the bed where my 12 volt socket would be. And again, hot water. This is my diesel hot water. It's a simple switch, on off, and we're going to kick the hot water on just by pressing that button. Now, I've been out camping before, forgot how much I've used, hadn't used it for a while. Please go and just double check your diesel tank at least has some fuel in it before you start it. Quite often people say, Shane, the diesel didn't start, the hot water didn't light. That's because we might have just filled up the fuel tank. We filled it up and we've got some air in there, air in the line. Just try it again. If it doesn't start and you don't get hot water, turn it off, turn it on. Try it up to 3, 5, 7 times, get that fuel back in it. Especially critical if we've run it dry. So please check my fuel on my unit before I turn on that diesel. Now generally there's one more switch depending on the model. I've got 6 buttons here. You can see 6 buttons. I press down and I've got my final button there, which is my USB for my outside lights. There it was hidden. Can we see this USB is all lit up? Turning that off. There we go. We've powered that on and off. The other USB is going to be for my accessories inside the van. If you ever find that your Sirocco fans or your other things aren't working, those guys could be connected to this USB inside the van next to my bed. That is a little look at what we do here on the power with our unit. There's some more technical stuff connecting to Bluetooth, using this switch here to isolate your power, or learning a little bit about some of the settings that you can do, such as touring and different settings to make this work. Setting it to sleep and setting it so you're saving power. So please remember, number 1 tip, I'm on my main screen. I've finished using my 240 power. I'm going to turn that off to save power while we're bush camping.